I'm Brian with Safeguard Business Systems, and it is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Drake here and his staff to you folks. He has been awesome already in the community. He hasn't been here very long, but I think everyone can say they've seen at least one member of his staff at every chamber event since they've joined. I've also seen them helping out in the community, supporting Safe House and Friday food bags, filling up things over there for needy youth in our community. So again, it's with great pleasure that I introduce Dr. Drake and his staff so he can tell you a little bit about his business.
Awesome. Well, speaking of which, first of all, Brian said, we're supporting Wheels for Charity. We got Colleen here. She obviously has the coop outside. She has tickets available to be sold.
Do we need to...
There's a mute button somewhere. Somebody go get it in the other room. I don't know how to run that. That's their job. But that speaks to what we're here for, is to serve one another and help each other. And on that, from the basket, we're going to draw 2 business cards, and you are going to win a raffle ticket that we have purchased for you for Wheels of Charity. So that's pretty awesome, right? And so I wanted to start with that. As you already know, my name is Dr. Christopher Drake, and I couldn't do what I do without an amazing staff, of which one is off answering the phone. Our office manager, Michelle, she is actually essentially a chiropractic physician's assistant. Rachel's back with us. She is our intern, preparing to become a chiropractor herself, a recent University of Wyoming graduate. And Patrick, our marketing guy, he has worked in the service industry a long time and has won awards for that. In fact, there's more information about us above the food table, so please enjoy a yogurt bar, parfait, juice, coffee, things of the like. I graduated, Michelle and I both graduated from Palmer College, where it all started. In fact, the history wall over there, that's a really interesting story. Ask one of us. It's a story for another time, but ask us while you're here, because it's a really cool story. So I graduated in 2014. In 2015, I opened my own clinic in Sidney, Nebraska, and I worked full-time for 4+ years at Cabela's while serving patients in the afternoon, evenings, and weekends. It was then that I decided I kind of need to expand my customer base. I need to get closer to the mountains and come to what Dennis from Capital Lumber would call, and I'm sure you would agree, God's country.
It is.
So we serve here in Cheyenne Monday through Thursday, and then we spend 2 days, 2 12-hour days, Fridays and Saturdays in Nebraska, with Thursday evening and Sunday morning appointments available, demonstrating just how much we're here to serve. Lots of chiropractors in Cheyenne. How are you different? Well, I'll tell you, we're different in how we adjust. That's the biggest difference. And it's basically nothing like anything else or anybody else. Anybody who's been to a chiro, this might sound familiar. Lay on one side, twist, bend this leg, and then I'm going to twist you until you pop. Then I'm going to lay you on the other side, and we're going to do the same thing, right? Then you're going to go face down. I'm going to pop your middle back about 3 times, flip you over on your back, grab you by the ears, and say, relax. Right? And crack you and twist you both ways. That's wrong. That's not chiropractic. It really isn't. They do the same thing. All of that raise their hand. Wasn't it the exact same every single time? And guess what? They do it to the same person, or the same thing to the next person, and the next person, and the next person. And quite frankly, that's not treating you like an individual, and that's unacceptable. So I check and adjust your spine only what you need today. Very specific, very unique to what you are today. Individualized care gives you individualized results, and that's what you deserve. They're doing all of that stuff incorrectly. I graduated with honors, and I'm extremely left-brained. So that means there's an exact procedure, way of doing things. And, yeah, thanks. Oh, maybe. Anyway. And I do it as we were taught to do it. And although I can do what they're trying to do correctly, I do a completely different approach, especially when it comes to the neck. I adjust your neck with absolutely no turning or twisting of your head whatsoever. What's the one biggest fear people have of chiros? Getting their neck adjusted. Why? Because you see that crap on YouTube, right? That's not chiropractic. That's not the way we do it here. No turning or twisting of your head whatsoever. In fact, you can go to our website, soaringhealthchiro.com, and you'll see a real-time, real-life video of a neck adjustment being performed, and that's what we do to everybody if you need it, and that's what it looks like. So our mission is to serve as many people as possible. We want to place our hands on those people and touch their lives, spreading hope and reconnecting them to the great power that's inside of our bodies that would allow us to soar through life instead of merely surviving. Speaking of that said power, I've got a story if you don't care to indulge me for a minute. Yeah, my neck hurts, I got headaches, back pain, that stuff makes sense, right? You go to the chiropractor for headaches, yeah? Everybody knows that. Well, we had a toddler, about 13 months old, who hadn't had a significant bowel movement in months. And she wasn't sleeping well, and here's the worst part, she was just angry all the time. In fact, her own dad could not pick her up. Her dad would pick her up and she'd start screaming at the top of her lungs. Now, her parents had tried everything, right? You hear that. We've tried everything. They're vegans. They already eat clean. They've done elimination diets. They've done cleanses. They take vitamins, minerals, oils. They eat dandelions, for God's sake. And nothing was helping this child. So there was nothing that I was going to be able to offer them that they hadn't tried already, except for chiropractic care. That's right. So mom brings baby in, she's screaming, and then she looks at me, and then, oh my God, right? It's over the top. I couldn't handle it, right? And I'm just like, okay, this kid is yelling and screaming, and I'm trying everything that I can. Time to wake up. I'm trying every evaluation technique, every position, mom, baby, just all over the place. And we finally settle with mom sitting on the edge of the table, right? She's kind of holding baby underneath the arms. Baby's feet are resting on her knees, and they're kind of doing the bounce, right? You've done that with a small baby, right? Screaming, of course, at the top of her lungs. I step back, I close my eyes, and I pray, God, please help me see where this life is being cut off in this body, and guide me to correct it. This child needs it. I open my eyes, and through that bounce and the fact that I had stepped back, clear as day, you could see where the spine changed. And as she's bouncing, you can clear right there. I take these two fingers, I wrap around the child's rib cage, and like that, I adjusted her. Instantly, she collapsed in her mom's lap and began sleeping. I mean, deep breathing, sleeping. The mom looked up at me with the face that you could expect, like I had just killed her daughter. And what in the world did you just do? And the kid's just sleeping soundly. So I have to explain to her, there's two parts to your nervous system, the automatic system and the manual system. The automatic system has two parts, and you've heard of these, fight or flight and rest and digest. The fight or flight system actually lives next to the spine in what looks like beads, like a necklace, in the upper back, the upper middle back. And that spinal misalignment was activating that system, right? And it was as if she was being chased by a mountain lion constantly. Can you imagine what that would be like? If you're being chased by a bear, I promise, you're not doing what? You're not eating, you're probably not stopping to go potty, and you sure the heck ain't sleeping, right? Her foot was on the accelerator, and there was no brake. Fight or flight, 100% of the time, all the time, she couldn't get a breath in. By the time, that amount of time that I just explained it to you, I explained it to her, baby wakes up, looks at me, smiles, gets down off of her mom's lap, and begins running around the table as her and I play peekaboo for the next 5 minutes. The child that couldn't even look at me is now playing peekaboo, right? Ooh, okay. So, I learned later that she goes home and she has a, let's just say, very significant bowel movement, and then a nap. When her dad comes home, she wakes up and runs to him with open arms and says, "Daddy, Daddy, pick me up," for the first time in months. You can imagine how he felt. Then I'm getting gas a couple of days later, and I hear this, "Excuse me, are you Dr. Drake?" And I turn around, and I kind of very timidly answer, "Well, yeah." In my brain, "I don't know you." And she proceeds to, without any warning, start giving me the largest hug possible and just bawling her eyes out. And then she starts thanking me for giving her niece back to her. Now, the look on my face must have indicated, "What the hell are you talking about?" Right? And she stopped and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. My niece is the angry toddler who couldn't poop." And she then continues to hug and thank me and cry some more and for giving her life back to her. And that's really what this is all about. It's about giving you your life back. It's not always about pain. Sure, that's a part of it. That child wasn't really in pain. She just couldn't go to the bathroom. She couldn't sleep. So what it is about, it's restoring your brain to body communication that then would allow the body to function the best that it has in years and give you the opportunity to soar to health. Now, all that we ask, just like our testimonial board says, just come expecting miracles and leave telling others about it. Thank you. Questions? Questions? Comments? Crickets?
So how's the commute been? Because I know you're still maintaining your Nebraska clinic, right?
We do, and we commute basically Thursday afternoon, and then we stay in Nebraska through Sunday morning and commute back Sunday morning. I used to live 40 miles from work and school, and so I was commuting that 40 plus miles every day, back and forth one way, 7 days a week. So actually it's less commuting than I'm used to. So it's okay. I take one of my staff members, we rotate, and I take one of them, and two of the three end up driving. So I just ride. So it's pretty easy, to be honest. It's not too bad. It's a small sacrifice to pay to serve people. So,
Yep.
Good question.
Dr. Drake, you may want to talk about the way you charge your customers too. I think that's a little unique.
Yeah, so charges, right? That's always on everybody's mind, the financials. Holy bananas. I guess everybody just needed to show up here, and there we go. So financials. Here's the most important thing to take away. I will never allow, if at all possible, I will never allow finances to keep you from getting the care that you so desperately need. Okay? I don't have a little pile of cash, especially in December, setting off to the side to go see a chiropractor 2 or 3 times a week, or even one time a week for a couple of weeks, or whatever that looks like. So what we do is we set you up. We call it a care plan. Don't get too excited. I know there's some chiros here that like to charge you for $6,000 worth of care, and you have to pay that up front. If you pay up front, we give you like a 10% discount. Well, really what they're doing, quite frankly, is illegal in a lot of ways. There is very fine things that they can do to make it legal, but the fact that if you cancel, thank you, if you cancel, then you have to pay everything back, and no, you don't. So what we do is we basically say, okay, here's what a care plan of about 12 visits would look like. And for most people, you're going to accomplish 12 visits in about 6 months. So we take the total of whatever your insurance would be. If you don't have insurance, we give you discounts for that. We also offer a veteran discount. Until TRICARE figures out how to work with United Healthcare, and they're going to start offering chiropractic to the general public, or not to allow vets and military personnel to seek chiropractic care outside of the VA system, and it'll be paid for. Until that's figured out, we will continue to offer a veteran discount as well. We take that entire amount of money that you would spend over the 6 months and we divide it back out. So you can make easy weekly, bi-weekly, bi-monthly, monthly payments, and you're way behind in the beginning, right? I've given you a lot more care than you've paid for in the beginning, but that's okay, because that consistent amount that you've paid, by the time we get to the end of the 6 months, you're coming about every 4 to 5, 6 weeks, and now your account is square. And now you just have once every 4, 5, 6 weeks, you got a $40, $45 charge, $25 copay, whatever your insurance is. You've got that one thing figured out. So there's not that huge financial responsibility up front. We literally take what your care would cost, divide it back out, and now you can just make easy payments and actually start off behind, but that's okay. So yeah, that is unique. Most chiros, it's money on the table or I don't touch you. And especially even just for every service, right? Now, if you stop inside of that 6 months, that's okay. We'll just settle up the account, whatever it is. You're not really prepaying for anything. You're simply making it so it's not a huge financial burden all at once. So that is unique to us. I haven't ran into a place that does it that way. Good question. Other questions?
Do you take workers' comp?
We do. Yep. Workman's comp or any PI cases. Yep. Automatically in with that. With one small exception, with one hiccup that we're just about to fix, we accept all major insurances, including United Healthcare. In Nebraska, you can't find a single chiropractor that accepts United in the Western Panhandle, except for us. So, yeah, workman's comp, auto accidents, and every major insurance there is, including Wyoming Medicaid, which pays for kids, I believe. Good question.